Hi everyone, welcome back to Candid Football Conversation. We're here to have a short chat about the semi-finals, and we're going to look ahead to the SAFF finals. India played out a 0-0 draw in regular time, then beat Lebanon on penalties. It was an exciting, enthralling clash. And now you were at the Kantirwa, so was I. How was your experience? What did you make of the semi-finals, and what do we have to look forward to?
Well, Rahul, I was actually happy that I was able to attend because my original plans were to. I did land at 2:30 in the afternoon, and I thought, okay, I'm set to miss the match because it was impossible if India topped the group to watch the first semi-final, and I'd given up to that thought. But then India finished second, and then it started ringing in my head, and my head started working. Said, okay, how do we work around this? Because my cousin sister lives quite far away from the Kantirava, so because I'd said I'd spend the weekend with her, and then I looked at logistical options, called up a few people. I said, hey, where is there any possibility to keep my suitcase somewhere and my bag? Can I keep it somewhere, get changed? I wore my lucky shirt with which whenever I wear this, India is not lost. So got that organized, kept it in the office at a friend of mine who also went with me to the match. And we got there a little later than 7. It was all full. It was all buzzing. I've never seen anywhere in India that many Sunil Chhetri number 11 jerseys. It was quite impressive, and it was a positive atmosphere, and the stadium was relatively accessible. We went in, and it was. I mean, for me, it was the first match at the Kantirava watching India play since the 8th of April 2001 when we had beaten the United Arab Emirates. So for me, it was a very special moment. And I was telling a friend of mine who had gone with me to the game 22 years back. He's at the moment in Goa. He couldn't come, but he's trying to come for the final. So let's see.
I remember we were talking about this in the last podcast as well, and you were a little uncertain as to whether you'd make it or not to the game. But having made it and India playing that, India ending up on the right side of the coin after penalties, how was the whole experience at the stadium? Like you said, you got to the ground, you experienced different parts of the stadium. Which part did you enjoy the most? Were you there with the West Block Blues? Were you at different parts of the stadium enjoying it differently?
So the good part is that I was able to move around in the stadium, and of course at the start I was in the VVIP area. I didn't go actually into the main area because you can't really live a football match if you're in a VVIP area. You have to control yourself, right? And so there I said, okay, listen, let me go to the side. I went to the side where the wives and girlfriends and the families of the players were. Had a nice little conversation with Sunil Chhetri's dad, Kharga uncle, and and he said, oh, good to see you and all. And I say, yeah, I've tried it and I've made it. I think that was the most important thing, that by that time I was a little bit of in a zombie mode, have not slept properly 36 hours, but to be there just to get it there. But the first 10 minutes, I felt I was very worried, because in the first 10 minutes, Lebanon were all over India. You realize that Mehtab and Anwar needed a little time to settle down, and everyone around us, everyone was very tense, and you could feel it in the stadium, right? It was very quiet at the start of the game, because I think everyone was a little not sure, Sandesh is missing, how is it? But then, slowly you realized, I was literally below the West Block. So you could realize the West Block started sort of realizing India needs that support, and we need to come out and give something to the boys. And I think that was also a factor which helped, and it looked good. And in the second half, actually went up. I was to the left, so to say, of the West Blocks, because we thought let's take another position. We were actually standing. We're asking people, is it fine if we stand around over here? And it was quite enjoyable. First half of extra time went over standing just behind the West Blocks, because my thought process was, if I go into the West Blocks, Adam, I might have met you. I've met other people. I know Floyd Pinto was in the block, and I didn't want to really, disturb sort of the atmosphere and talking to too many people. And let's focus on the game, right? And that was really brilliant, because I was standing behind it. I could feel the vibe and was suddenly part of that vibe, and it was fun. But, then I realized, I'd drunk quite a bit of water, so I had to take a loo break. And then I realized the loo is only in the VVIP area. So I went to the toilet over there, and then I stayed in the second half over there, and also the penalty shootout. And yeah, it was an experience, it was an experience, and I loved it. I loved it really. And you might be better to say, but I was told it was one of the best experiences that a lot of people have had in connection with an India game.
That's for sure. I think I haven't gone to too many India games. As far as going to the Kantirwa is concerned in recent times, I'd probably put it just below BFC beating Mumbai City FC on penalties. Incredible experience. Again, I went with a bunch of friends, got late because of them, and I was really giving it to them, because you can't get through Bangalore traffic in in quick time. It takes a lot of time. It took us almost an hour 15 minutes to cross what 10 to 15 kilometers. And but yeah, again, the experience was amazing because everyone's loud chanting all the time, and it just doesn't stop. I get the whole nervy part as well. The first 10 minutes, Gurpreet made that important save, and then we really grew into the game, and we had some chances of our own. Udanta went on that brilliant run. I think everybody just loves to watch Udanta play. We know that he's no longer at BFC, and every time he comes onto the pitch, it's more special. He had that brilliant run that he almost finished off, and apart from that, he had this brilliant cutback for Chetri that Chetri just put over the bar, and really a couple of really nice moments that all of us enjoyed, and finally to cap it off, it was Udanta's penalty that did it for India. You know, that was the last penalty for India, and he scored it. So there was no better way to cap off the game. And Sunil Chetri announcing that he's staying at BFC as well towards the end of the game. What do you make of that, Arnav?
I think it was a special moment. I think you could realize it. I sensed it. I jokingly had a conversation with father. I said, "Have you seen yesterday's pre-match press conference?" I said, "Why?" He said, "You guys are supposedly putting pressure on him and asking when is he retiring." And uncle was really laughing, really properly and saying, "Did he?" I said, "Yeah, just watch it." It was because the pre-match press conference. I don't know if you've seen it. It's available on the YouTube channel of the All India Football Federation on their platform. You saw Sunil Chetri at his best. And that is, I think, very important for this team, that you have this. Of course, Sunil is a respect person. He's the legend and all that stuff. But Sunil is also someone who likes to make fun, have fun. And he was having fun at that press conference. And I think he transports that. I think the biggest thing that I have to say is that, and that credit goes out now to Igor Stimac, because I've been also quite critical about certain things which I've not liked, and is that he's able to build a team. In the last month, I have to say, give him the credit for that. He's built a good team. He's built a good unit. India were fit for 120 minutes. That's a huge credit. Our fitness levels are high. The spirit in this team, the fighting, and those kind of things. And if we can work a little bit more on the football part, because that's the part that that we need to work on, because Lebanon is not going to be the benchmark at the Asian Cup. We will meet much tougher teams, and they're football wise they're much better. So I think if they can get that sorted, I think a lot can be done. And Kuwait again will be a different test. Kuwait has tested us already in the group stage match. Again, and what I felt towards the end, I don't know if you felt it as well, especially towards the second half of extra time, is that Lebanon and India both had played 8 matches, but of more than 8 matches actually. So that was really showing. So I hope that it's good. Sandesh was out, so Sandesh is going to be fresh. Sandesh is going to bring again that energy with him. That's going to be important. I guess Mahesh Naurem most probably will also get a look in and will start. I think that's the find of the last month also. Mahesh Naurem, that boy is talking to some East Bengal fans. I think even though people will not give him the credit, but Stephen Constantine gave him that opportunity, gave him that chance, believed in the boy. And that those are some very, very good positives. It's just that, if we can, Jeekson is a very, very good blocker, is doing a brilliant job. And if we can, find another one who's able to block it, because we were playing in these kind of games with the Thapa and with Sahal or whatever the combo was. Mahesh came in later with a more of an attacking intent, and I think the Asian Cup will have to have 2 sixes who are really blocking off the game. So it's sad that Apuya is not there. I would have loved to see Apuya play, but it's good. It's the signs are very, very good, and I hope we can build on it. Also seeing the way Igor Stimac was interacting with people, with the way he was really happy. I don't know if you've seen that footage with Kalyan Chaube literally jumping on Igor Stimac, when India won, and you realized Kalyan Chaube, yes, is the AFF president, but Kalyan Chaube is also an ex-footballer. The ex-footballer in him came out, and that's lovely to see. This is emotions. I was Amarjit Kiam was standing next to me. My hand was like this on Amarjit, and on the other side was my former team manager Watson from Mumbai City, and we were like standing over there, and oh God, it's lovely. And that feeling of winning games, and everyone came around and had conversations at the game with the Jopol Ancheri, Naushad Musa was there, Stanley Rosario was there. We was talking about old things. I was telling Jopol joking. I said, Jopol, last time I was here at the stadium, you were playing in the game, right? Now you're a legend of Indian football, but at that time you were playing. Baichung, I am Vijay, and all these guys were playing. So yeah, it's great. that it was possible for me to attend, and yeah, it's another night to remember with the Indian football team for me.
I know there's one more exciting night left for the SAFF Championships to come to a close. India will play Kuwait in the finals on Tuesday night. What can we expect from this game? They've already played each other in the group stages, like we mentioned. But what can we expect in the final?
I think we'll see a sellout crowd, first of all. I think that is the Kantirava will be full. I think people will be running around the stadium trying to get tickets and trying to get in. so that's going to be there. So that's a given. I like that, especially that energy towards the end, extra time.
Yeah.
Penalty shootouts. I guess that energy will be there from the start. I know there will be some tension because, again, Kuwait will have learned the one and the other thing from Lebanon. So I think Kuwait will try to hit us early on. But I think if the Kantirava can produce that atmosphere, the boys will be focused. They are focused, and you can see they're enjoying their game. That's the good part. That's the thing. If we can keep this, the team spirit is good. The mentality is very, very strong. This team now has a team psychologist. Is that already the first sort of positive effects of having a team psychologist? Maybe, I don't know. But the signs are good. And again, I would love to see us defend the SAFF title and cap off another memorable night for India at the Kantirava. And as I said, Sandesh Chingan is going to be back. That's a big asset. But Egon has a big question to answer. Who goes out? Mehtab, as many would expect, or would he rest Anwar? Will Akash Mishra start ahead of Subhashish Bose? Will Mahesh Naurem get back into that position? Will he use Kurunian as a number 9? There's a lot of options that the coach now has, and I hope that Igor picks the best possible 11 on the night. There's a training session later today, so look forward to watching that hopefully as well, and hopefully we're on the right track, and this is something which is good. I think which is positive. As I said, I've been critical about certain things when it comes to Igor Stimac because he's been tinkering it out for me too much. But at the moment, he has sort of 15, 16, 17 players he's trusting in. We've got certain players who are not even there, who would be regulars in and around sort of the starting 11. We're missing a Sana, we're missing a Yasir, we're missing a Brandon due to different reasons. Apuya is also not there at the moment. So therefore, we've got some good players also in there. So hopefully we can build on what we have. We can have another historic night at the Kantirava, and then we've got the Kings Cup, we've got the Merdeka Cup later this year, and then of course in January the Asian Cup in Qatar. That's the big baby out there. So hopefully we can achieve something, because I think if you see the interest level also, this is something which I've realized. If you see it on Twitter, if you see it generally, Saturday night we just went for a dinner after that. Everywhere we were going, I was joking, everywhere you see these number 11 Sunil Chhetri jerseys, and that is something which is lovely to see, that there's a buzz in the city. Of course it's Sunil, of course it's Bangalore, which the city has a special connection to Sunil, but it's just generally to see all of this, which is a huge positive, and hopefully we can take the positives, But again, as I said, I also look at the things, in at times of victory, you have to also look at the things which are not going right, and hopefully that is being done, and hopefully that will be done by Igor Stimac, so that that the best potential team can take on the mighty teams of Asia in the 2023 AFC Asian Cup in January 2024 in Doha.
Robert, just one last question before I let you go. Any score prediction? If you had to,
as long as it's not penalties, because that was, it was, again, I've traveled. I was awake for more than 36 hours. The adrenaline was jokingly pumping in me as if I was playing myself. So if you can, please, India, please win it a little earlier. 90 minutes is good. I'll accept 120, but as long as you win, I'm fine. But if you can do it a little earlier, there are a lot of old people in the stadium. It would be good for our hearts. Let's put it this way, and let's have an enjoyable night. I think that is what the fans also deserve. All of them who came out in support. I saw a lot of young kids, a lot of girls also when I went up to the West Block and that side stands and all that stuff. That's lovely to see. This is what you want to see. I mean, even you are much younger than me as well. So now that young folks are there, they're interested. They're supporting India. They're supporting football. They're not supporting. Let them support the Man Uniteds, Liverpools, the Barcelonas and Real Madrids or whatever. but you're coming out to support Team India, you're coming out to support Indian football, and that's the most important message. Support the team, support the boys, whatever it is. We can discuss the things which are not going right, but when it comes to a match day, as I've always said, as I've done, and I've also proven, I've gone and traveled around the world to support Team India, that we need to support the boys whenever and wherever they play.
And it is going to be an exciting game. It's going to be an exciting finish, guys. Get out to the Candid if you can. Get your tickets on Insider.
Rahul, one question for you. What's your expectation from the game? What do you want as a result?
Arnav, like you just said, let's not take it to penalties. Not good for our hearts. But I just feel like these close games are the ones that you remember for long times. And for me, like the most memorable night I've had is the Mumbai City FC night. And then I'd probably, a close second would be the JDT game where Sunil scored a brace. I think he scored a brace and we went into the finals of the AFC Cup. But it's those nights that when it's like super tight that you end up remembering for a long time because of the adrenaline and the rush. So I'd want a close game, but obviously want India to, finish with another trophy. So those are the expectations from this game at least. But let's all be there. Let's all be there to support India and let's have some fun.
Exactly. Let's have some fun. And just to cap it off, of course, as always, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Sports Coverage. Subscribe to arunfoot. We'll be coming with more candid football conversations. I know I'm on the road for the next couple of weeks, but we'll still be trying to chip in with the one or the other interview, or a few lives, maybe on transfers. And in the coming days, I'll be active also as a commentator on the Calcutta Football League. So maybe I'll share a little bit of experiences of the Calcutta Maidans and how it's going as well. And again, maybe we can catch up on the 5th on how the experience was, and maybe have a few other people joining us in. And thanks, Rahul, on this quick, short one.
Thanks, Arnav.